Hey, what's happening, everybody? So check this out. I'm over here at the edge of my chicken run area, and I've got 3 different potted plants growing here. These were all mint plants that I planted out 5 years ago, back in February of 2018. Now, what's unique about this growing situation over here is the way in which I filled these pots with the growing medium. What I did is create what I call Hugelpots, which is a run on the word Hugelkultur. Hugelkultur is a German concept word meaning mound culture or hill culture, and essentially what it is creating a mound of soil, a raised garden bed so to speak, with a core of woody and organic materials that are going to act as a sponge and take in the moisture, the rains throughout the winter months, and even just through regular watering, and then disperse that through the spring and summer months. You're also able to reduce your overall cost if you're having to buy soil or compost to fill your pots, because when I first planted these pots out, I literally filled them up 3/4 of the way with Hugelkultur material, some larger branches from a tree, and covered that with some wood chips. And atop that, I put about 7-8 inches of soil and compost, planted them out with mint, and we've had beautiful mint plants growing here every single year now. Mint is a perennial herb that will survive all the way down to USDA Climate Zone 5. So most folks can grow this perennial, and even though it does die back in the winter time, it will reemerge in the spring and the summer. So as long as the plants are dormant here, this would be a good time to go ahead and top this off with some potting mix or some soil and get things reset for this upcoming growing season. But I thought, before I do that, why not take the opportunity to go ahead and empty one of these pots out and show you what the inside now looks like after having broken down now for 5 years. Now, if you're interested in seeing how I constructed these so you can get a better idea of what went in here, what it looked like from the beginning, then check down below in the description box. I'll leave a link to that video where I put these together. So let's go ahead and take this pot here now. All right, so I'm just going to empty this out on top of this little pile of mostly pine needles here. So as you can see, it just looks like a big pile of soil. There's roots running throughout the entire medium here. Wow, I see some wood chips, but I'm not seeing any logs in here. There's one. Well, it's basically just disintegrating now. But look what happens when you squeeze a piece like this. Look at all that moisture in there. Here's a big piece of wood. See if we can squeeze some water. Oh yeah, just a little bit of water in there. Look at that. So this is the goal. When you're putting those Hugelkultur mounds or Hugelpots together, this is what you're aiming to create. This is a really effective strategy for not only creating excellent soil tilth in the garden, all of this wood is just now turning into just part of the soil here. It's all blending together. So hopefully that was proof enough for you to give Hugelkultur a try. This garden bed over here is a good representation of a traditional Hugelkultur mound. It's built up a couple feet from the ground, and although you don't have to do this, most mounds are started by trenching down 2 to 3 feet and backfilling that with woody products like the branches you see here. And it's just the top foot of soil that really needs to be conducive to growing plants. And don't overly concern yourself with nitrogen tie-up. Although it's always best to use older wood, a 1, 2, 3-year-old wood versus fresh cut wood, it's all going to turn into the same thing. If you are using a fresh cut wood, maybe add a little bit more soil atop that wood for the first year. But nitrogen tie-up isn't much of an issue unless you're mixing fresh wood products like, let's say, fresh wood chips blended together with soil and growing into that. Then you're going to have some deficiencies there that you can still balance out by adding in nitrogen. And over the course of a couple years, not only will nitrogen tie-up not be an issue, but those wood materials will then begin to release some of that tied up nitrogen back into the mound. This right here is some perfect Hugel wood. These are just larger pieces of trunk and branches off of a fruitless mulberry tree, and I keep them around for a couple different reasons. One being that as they're sitting there decomposing, I can move them around, and there's definitely going to be a few bugs under there, so I can call the chicken over and flip these logs around, and she'll go bug hunting. She loves it. I really didn't want to disturb you, Matilda, but would you like to go bug hunting? Not right now? Okay, she's dust bathing, guys. We'll let her be. Another good reason to try your hand at putting together some Hugelpots is that it's essentially a hidden Hugelkultur. So although everything looks all nice and neat on the outside, and in some situations that's what you need design-wise, you've still got that organic, natural gardening technique occurring within the pot. The truth is, I utilize Hugelkultur in probably 95% of any raised bed situation I have going here. This is a large garden bed that is, again, a hidden Hugelkultur. There's stumps buried within here. There are branches, leaves, wood chips that were used to build the first foot and a half that this bed required for filling. And I have tremendous crops growing in both this bed and this bed every single year, another hidden Hugelkultur. So all the links you need to learn more will be down below, where I constructed these beds, how I went about doing it. And as I've mentioned many times, I always try to give you updates on all the projects that are growing on around here. So this is really just an update video. I got to get busy this evening. I'm going to be getting some more seeds started. But right now, I'm just happy. The sun's out. It's a beautiful day. I'm in the garden. Hopefully you get to get out to the garden today. If you did, I commend you for that. So with that, take care, everybody. I'll be talking to you again soon.